Literally, yeah. And yeah, all for it. All for
Yeah,
it. What a
absolutely.
time to be alive.
There's a lot of debates out there in the wrestling world about who should and who shouldn't, who could and who couldn't, and I think there's a lot of avenues to discuss. Like we said, like we said a few minutes ago, there's a lot of avenues that we could go down that are possibilities, but because we don't know, that's what makes it great.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that, man. So yeah, if we get straight into it, obviously SmackDown
Absolutely.
straight up as can be SmackDown straight into the big announcement of Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes at King and Queen of the Ring. What is your take? Because I'm stuck in two minds.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. So we discussed this. Obviously, I put this in our WhatsApp chat between myself, you, and Boss, and I said my initial thought was I hate this, and I hate it, but I love it at the same time, and that's why I'm so conflicted, and I think that's why it's a good match because a lot of people are going to be the same. Because if you're somebody that can see it from both avenues rather than just being a hater or a lover, and you can see it from the middle, you're going to see it. This is great for business. Logan Paul, he's done well in the ring. He's the US champion. He's only had two defenses. It's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia have asked for this match. You know that. We're
Oh,
going to know that the
100%.
Saudis have asked for this match.
Yeah, they
That's
love
why he
him.
got his match at Crown Jewel against Roman for the Universal Championship.
Yeah,
Several
they
years, a
love him
couple of
out
years
there.
ago.
So
Yeah,
you've
exactly.
got
So
to put him in
it,
the big
it brings
match.
in massive numbers. So it makes absolute sense, and I think they'll put on a hell of a match between the two of them. They've got that potential. Cody's great. Logan Paul has shown that with the little time that he's been around the business, he's fantastic. So
Oh,
why
yeah.
not put them together? Two huge. You've got the biggest name in the sense of wrestlers, and then you've got the biggest name in the sense of social media that you could possibly bring together
Mm,
next to Roman Reigns, which they've already done. So why not make it happen? So from that perspective, it makes sense. But from a wrestling fan's perspective, Logan doesn't deserve that title shot. There's other people that should be in line for that shot first, and
yeah.
that's why it irks me. But at the same time, I love it because it is going to make for a good story. It is going to make for a good match. And actually, I was surprised at SmackDown. Logan Paul really surprised me at how good on the mic he was this time round. You can tell
He's,
that for this time that he's been on there, he's been finding his feet, and it looks like he's finally hit the ground.
yeah, I agree with that. I think, yeah, from the draft, when we had the draft, and obviously he was on there,
Yeah.
and then when he was in Kansas, and I think that Raw episode with him on the mic just elevated his mic skills, and he's just got the momentum and pushed it into this. And yeah, it's elevating him as a superstar. But I just, I don't know. Do I want a double champ? No. I think we've done it once, and we've done it with two great superstars.
Yeah.
But this time, you've got a part timer up against Cody. I just don't think it makes sense for either to be
I
double champ.
don't. Yeah, I don't think they should be doing it as a championship match. I think it should be champion versus champion as a headlining match at a relatively decent PLE.
Yeah,
I don't think it should be any more than that. I don't think Logan right now deserves a shot at the WWE Championship.
and
I don't
vice
think
versa for
Cody has.
Cody.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's not that Cody doesn't deserve it. I think it's more that he doesn't need it.
Yeah, potato, potato. But yeah,
But again, if they're wanting to push Cody to the hilt, making him win the US makes him a grand slam again. And I saw that comment, by the way, on TikTok. I saw the comment about the logic of Finn being a grand slam makes no sense. And yeah, I get what they're saying. I do get it. But a grand slam theoretically is somebody that's won everything. And there's a few people classed as grand slams that haven't won everything.
no, yeah, it is a touchy, controversial
It's
topic.
just a
But
person. I think it's my personal opinion. That's all. I get
no,
why
for
they,
me,
but
if you're going to do it, you need to win both top titles.
yeah,
You can't
I think
just
so.
win one and it be claimed as you've
Yeah.
won both. But
And
that's just my opinion.
that's why Seth in my mind, and like the guy said in the TikTok video, by that logic, Seth is the only Grand Slam, and yeah, and fair play to him. In my mind, that just holds him a little bit higher above the rest.
exactly that.
But
But
yeah, going back to what you say, I think it's a great match in the making for sure. And if they can carry on, and I'm seeing now, he's still too polite, Cody. You know, he's still too polite, but you can see his bitchiness is stirring. And this is let's face it, a lot of us want to see Cody turn heel, and I think Logan Paul could be the way to sway it because he's a heel himself, but he's arrogant, he's cocky. He could just be that annoying little brother, so to speak, that tips you over the edge and makes you lose your shit.
yeah, there's that part to it. But also, I just going to that PLE though with them two, where I don't want to see a double champ. We could see a surprise in some sort of interference
Yeah,
because I've seen lurking rumours around possibly the White Six debut, and this is their big moment
yeah.
in interfering it, or the winner of the King of the Ring tournament, whoever that may be, could have a say in it if it's a smack, especially if it's a SmackDown superstar.
Well, this is it. I mean, and you
Do
know,
the Bloodline want
there's
to see Cody as a double champion?
no, of course they don't. They're
Are
pissed
they
off.
just wanting one title? So are they going to make a statement and do something? It's
Maybe. I mean, they certainly made a statement this Friday, right?
yep. Again, they did.
We'll go to that at a later stage, you know, before we move on to Raw. But yeah, um, I mean, again, so many possible avenues for us to walk down.
It's a tough one, but at the end of it, I don't want to see another double champ. Not
No,
in this from this match at least. Not from this match.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah,
If it was say it was between Raw, so you've got Sammy versus Priest, then fair enough. They're both full
yeah,
time. I would like to see it because there's
yeah.
more angles you can get for it. But Logan's part time, so if he loses it, you probably won't see him for another 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, this is the thing, and but again, if he wins it, the same, you know, if he wins and it is only for the US Championship, and say that he gets a win over Cody and he retains, you're still not going to see him for 4 or 5 weeks.
No, it's
And that's the
I
thing,
want
you know.
more
I
of
mean,
Logan though. I want to see more
I
Logan.
think a lot more people do, and we discussed this last week. I think a lot more people do, and there's no reason we shouldn't. He's doing a hell
No,
of a job. He's getting better on the mic. He brings in a presence. You know, people want to watch him and listen to him because even if they hate him, you know, it's that love to hate. You want to see what he's got to say, just so at the end of it, you can turn around and say, "Well, he's a bigger dick than I thought he was," or "Oh my god, he's done so much better and
he
he's
brings
great."
good television though. He's like
Yeah,
he's
exactly
got
that.
an aura of people tune in to see
Yeah,
what's going to happen to him.
and
Is
that's
he going to
why
get
WWE
beaten up?
brought
Is
him
he
in.
going to do
That's
the
why it's
beating
a
up?
great partnership. Yeah, exactly that.
So yeah,
But
personally,
yeah,
I don't want either. But on paper, it's probably 99.9% going to be Cody. But
yeah.
I'm hoping that somewhere along the line in that match, someone's going to do something and neither of them walk away
Just end it
double
in a
champ.
disqualification or something. Yeah, and unless Logan gets called, you know, you know, Cody made a point
Caught
of
with the
saying,
brass knuckles or
yeah,
something.
yeah, Cody made a big point of it in his promo, saying that every match you've had, you've gone to those brass knucks. Is he going to do it again and this time get caught out?
Yeah, I hope so. Like I say, I don't dislike either. I want to see, like I say, more
Yeah,
Logan, but I don't want to see either as double champ. And I think Cody needs to take the one belt and defend that rather than having two
I
and a
think so.
pointless story where we're not going to see Logan Paul for another 4 or 5 weeks
Yeah.
to
Well,
come back and
this
win
is
that
it,
title.
and you can tell now with the fact that they've put Logan in there. One, it's probably the Saudi Arabian audience that have asked for it, and understandably so. But two, also they have been, you know, it has been well known already that even in these early stages of his championship run, the WWE are lacking direction for Cody, and they don't really know where to take it.
No,
So
it's a tough one
this
for
is
him.
this just to fill the is this to fill the void while they're establishing that? I mean, does a SmackDown superstar win King of the Ring, and if so, who? And you've got to look at the opportunities from the SmackDown side of it that could go for Cody. You know, if you want to sideline onto that, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to see a double champ right now. I just don't. I don't think it makes sense
No,
right this second.
it's not. There's not a there's not a long story there if there's a
No,
double champ. because
Completely agree.
you're not going to see it develop week in, week out. It's going to be Cody
Well, this
wins,
is it.
he walks there next Friday, and then there's no repercussions from beating
Yeah,
Logan Paul. It's just going to be
yeah.
on to the
There's going to
next.
be no rematch. It's going to be, well, okay. Well, you're going to defend the United States champion next week on TV, okay. But then when am I going to defend the WWE Championship?
Exactly.
You know,
It's not.
he's going to be pushed and worked to the bone as a champion if that's the case.
Whereas, yeah, like when you had it last time with you had Seth and John Cena, it
Yeah,
worked. There was a massive angle there for everything because obviously it was the upcoming superstar against the face of the company. But
yeah. That's
Seth was
exactly
full
right.
time and Seth was being pushed to become the face of the company.
Yeah,
And it made sense of him and Cena to have that big rivalry. And it lasted and it was perfect. Like it was a great
and they
rivalry. It
both
was
played it out. Yeah, they both played it out extremely well.
week in, week out. There was different pushes, different
Yeah,
angles to it. Everything happened. But
and
if they're
that's the
going to do it
thing. Yeah,
again, it's not going to be the same and it's not going to work for me.
I don't think so. It's going to be interesting to see that, to see what happens. And then obviously, leading up to that, there's plenty else that goes alongside it.
But yeah, on that, I just hope, yeah, there's a big disqualification, big altercation or something, or we see a new special appearance, or I don't know. It's Saudi
It's gonna,
Arabia.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
things
it
happen that we just
could be bloody
have
anyone.
no control of.
For all we know, bloody KSI or someone's gonna run out again dressed as another Prime bottle.
Tyson Fury comes running down and Stone Cold stuns everyone.
I mean, look, we've seen more shocking things happen, right?
Exactly.
I mean, if you
So,
look at the past, Mickey Rourke right-handed Chris Jericho to the jaw on Monday night. Well, we've had Wayne Rooney slap the shit out of Wade Barrett. There's
so
a lot that's been. Is
there's something
anything's
there, I
possible?
hope.
Yeah,
But yeah,
anything's
it's
possible.
yeah, I don't know with that one. But staying with gold and appearances from this Friday,
Yeah,
obviously Carmelo had an impressive win, and it was a really good match against Corbin.
it was a great match. I caught the highlights. I didn't get to watch the whole show. I caught the highlights, and I was very impressed. And
I
it
was
makes
from
sense to
both of
me.
them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know who would win that, to be honest with you, because like we
Well,
spoke
this is
about
the
before,
thing.
Corbin
Yeah,
elevates a superstar, but at times he was in such control.
he deserves he deserves to be elevated himself. That's the thing. He deserves a good run, and maybe Corbin. Maybe he could be pushed for a mid card title like the US title. I think certainly deserves a bit more of the spotlight, and he's done so well being down in NXT with Bron Breakker.
Mm,
But yeah, I think he and Carmelo just smashed it out of the park.
yeah,
And
and I think Carmelo's. I think he's being pushed to this
oh,
US title. I
yeah,
think
potentially,
that'll be his first landing spot, and I'm with it because he's shown a lot so far in
yeah,
what he's got, and he's just got that cocky aura of
he's
being
got
a
a good swagger
champion.
about him, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got a
Yeah,
good swagger about him.
he's just yeah, he'll be like Logan Paul, similar to that, but we'll see it constant if
Yeah,
to become a champion.
absolutely, I think so. He'd make a good US champion. To be fair, he'd make a really good US champion. I think
Yeah, he's just like he's got like shades of like when Shelton Benjamin was about with it.
that's a big name to live up to. I think Shelton
In
Benjamin's Shelton Benjamin's so underrated.
but what I mean is like he's got that cocky swagger about him, and he's not
He
scared
does,
to
yeah, absolutely.
take on
Do you know
any
who he reminds me
challenge.
of a little bit with his swagger? And this is going back a bit, but he reminds me a bit of D'Lo Brown.
Damn, that's a
Like
blast from the
When
past.
D'Lo had the swagger as European champion, when he was the European champion and he
One of
used to
the
have his
I'd
swagger
say the
coming
best
down.
European champion there ever was.
Definitely one of them, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I
But
loved D'Lo
yeah,
Brown as a kid. But
that
yeah,
that
he's got that
strut
kind of
down to the
swagger.
ring, just
Exactly. That's exactly it, and he's got that kind of swagger, and I like that. I do like that. But yeah, I think there's a great decision to push Carmelo for it. Um, will he advance in the next stages? Who knows? I mean, you look at who's advanced so far with Carmelo, Randy, LA Knight. It's Tamatunga. It's a good selection.
oh, there's a good
It's a
four there.
very good selection. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't get me wrong, but with staying on obviously King of the Ring, Randy winning, which again brilliant match, vintage Randy
Yeah,
all the way through. Does now AJ Styles drop to the US title ranks because I feel his time as a top challenger is done now.
logically you have to look at it, don't you? I mean, he's just lost to Cody at Backlash. He's now lost to Randy in the qualifying stages. You know, the first round of
Yeah,
the King of the Ring tournament and the qualifying stages. You have got to look at that now. Is are they slowing him down a bit? Are they gonna? They're either gonna put him down to put him back up, or they're gonna bring him down to put the likes of Carmelo Hayes up. Can you imagine a match between Carmelo and AJ Styles? It's going to
that'd
be a
be
fantastic match. The level
that'd
that
be
they
one to
both
push
bring
him.
into that ring, yeah, the level that they both bring into the ring, they both, they can both hit moves from the air, out of nowhere. AJ Styles has got a phenomenal fighting style, and Carmelo Hayes has got that swagger. He's got huge talent. The two of them together could make easily a fantastic match on any given night.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like AJ for me, he needs gold again just to end.
I think so, yeah.
But I don't think it's not going to be Cody's gold.
Oh, gee, you know I'm going to tell you to fuck off right now. Just,
But
but it's. I love
it
AJ. You
won't
know I
be.
do.
It
I
won't be
mean,
though.
yeah, there is a likelihood that that won't be the case. I totally agree with you. There is a strong likelihood that he may not hold that caliber of gold again. I'd like to say that you're wrong, but I know the chances. But yeah, that could well be it. Maybe he is being. I don't want to say dropped because that makes it sound like, oh yeah, we're just dropping him off. Maybe he is being moved over towards that United States Championship run to either get the United States title or to elevate people. And either way, I think it's a good move for him.
Yeah, either way, yeah, it's he's not going to be dropped off any picture completely and
No,
just sort of stuck at that
you can't. Not that
in the
caliber of
wasteland,
person, even
is
at that
he?
age. No, I don't think so. You can't do that to somebody like that. I just think it's physically impossible because even if they were older, if they're still bringing that, that level of work and that level of match. I mean, look, I think uh, don't quote me on this. I think WWE hold a total of either 6 or 9 5-star matches in history from Dave Meltzer. And I know there's a lot of controversy about Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
Um, but Randy and but AJ and Cody got a 5-star match from Dave at Backlash. So that shows what AJ can do as well as Cody.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
Again, that's one man's opinion, but he's a wrestling. There is a lot of controversial behind him, but I don't think when you've got somebody that's that talented, even at that age, you can't just push them aside. It's impossible. They won't let you do it. They
No,
won't let you.
we want to see AJ. We want AJ.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to see him every week until he
You can't
retires.
just you can't just say, "Oh, that's it now. We're bored of him. We'll push him. We'll just put him in a shelve him. We'll shelve
Absolutely.
him." Like
Yeah, exactly that.
AJ will go out on his own terms. You
Yeah,
can't
I hope so.
define him.
No, because everybody deserves that shot. I think, especially when you've had that longevity for so long, whether it be solely in WWE or if you've been doing indies and then other smaller promotions like TNA and stuff like that. I think everybody deserves that opportunity to go. Okay, this is my decision, and I'm now walking away.
Definitely. So, what are your feelings on? Obviously, you've got Tamatonga, and the Bloodline
Mhm.
still in King of the Ring,
Yeah,
and they made a statement as the Bloodline
yeah, they did. Yeah,
against Angelo Dawkins. They kind of they kind of just basically let him have a little bit of a play. Give it to Solo, and then that was it. Solo just went, "Nah, mate, we are coming for you," and then they just
yeah,
demolished him
yeah,
towards it. And
yeah. Well, that was it, weren't
Tama's
they? Yeah,
first singles match as well.
yeah.
He does look like he's got something in the ring. He still looks a bit rusty, probably on a singles front, but again,
I think
it's a bigger stage to step up to when you come to WWE.
Well, it's the biggest. Let's face it. You don't get any bigger. And as much as people want to say, "Oh, you're a WWE mark" and all this, like, yeah, maybe I am. I don't give a shit. But the fact is it is the biggest of the biggest stage. You know, I think he looked good. I think Angelo Dawkins looked really good. Um,
I was
you know,
surprised, considering he was shoved in it last minute
yeah,
after Lashley
but
pulling out.
with a speculation to that, isn't there?
Yeah, didn't want to be
You
put
know,
over.
Lashley being injured. Yeah, I just don't think he wanted to put over Tamatonga. And that's the
Yeah,
speculation, and I can kind of agree with that. When you've got the caliber of Lashley, again, he's getting on a bit age-wise, but former
well,
champion, former
you
United
say
States
that
champion, Intercontinental champion.
on paper, yeah, he's aging, but if you look at him, he doesn't look no different from when he started
He's like our
in
truth.
the
Yeah, he's like
company.
our truth. He doesn't age. He still looks 20.
Exactly. But yeah, it's Tamo, yeah, beating Angelo. There's I think he progresses to the final of the SmackDown side.
I think so, with the Bloodline's aid.
Yeah, obviously,
So
yeah,
now
they're
this
not going to let him. He's not going to win clean
they can
ever.
swing this a few ways. Because if you look at the people that have qualified, you've got Tamatanga, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and obviously Carmelo. Carmelo's never had any dealings with the Bloodline as yet.
No,
Randy got taken out by the Bloodline. And then obviously you've got LA Knight had dealings with the Bloodline because he went after Roman Reigns' championship and came up short because of the Bloodline.
yeah,
Um, so they could take it to the point that if Tama gets put up against LA Knight or Randy Orton, that they could extend that storyline. I don't think it's going to be Randy Orton purely because of what happened at Backlash. Because obviously now they've got that win over Randy, and since then nothing has really come of Randy and KO going after the Bloodline. Maybe that was the feud there, settled, not settled, but done. You know,
yeah. I'm convinced that Randy takes on Tama and Randy gets put over again. But
I
there's
mean,
an angle of that obviously leading to Raw's side because there's one member still in it on the Raw side that with Tama gets to the final, it's obviously
family, it's Bloodline versus old
this could
Bloodline. Is
be the way of
yeah,
bringing Jay back into this feud because obviously we've had the tease of them walking past each other at the last
yeah. But then there was
PLE.
also there was also a mini segment that I saw today with Jackie Redmond and Jay Uso, and Jay's in the background going, calling Jimmy Big Jim and saying, "If you want some, you can come get some. Come back. We'll run it back anytime, Big Brother." So
Yes,
who knows?
like
Again,
that's
it's little teasers
yeah.
like that that make you think just how deep is this going to run and how long is it going to run for?
It's yeah. It's yeah. Is it like Randy for Randy to win it outright? I can't see it.
I don't think he's going to win it outright at all. No,
It, yeah, I would love it. Don't get me wrong, right? Just to see him have that big stage again, but it's yeah, I can't see it just yet. Him getting a
no.
title shot
I mean, I do like the
because
story
Randy
between
versus
Randy and
Cody would
Cody.
be excellent.
It's a great
Like,
story. It's you've got all that history between them. They're good friends. You've got former Legacy members. Randy was a bit of a dick to Cody when he was in the when he was on his heel side and they were in the Legacy together. Cody was this young upcomer that was overlooked and was just doing all the dirty work for Randy.
mm,
And now he's the big dog, so to speak. He's the top of the chain. Um, so I think it would go, and the two of them together. I mean, I I love Randy as much as most people do. I think Randy is just a solid worker.
oh yeah,
His work has always been incredible since he was a young kid when he first came into the WWE, and he just hasn't stopped performing
no,
on any level.
not at all. And I cut like an old interview of his popped up the other day about when he was due to face the face Taker,
Yeah,
and obviously they were doing the rehearsals and stuff, and him being young, he literally called himself he was a dick,
yeah,
and he turned up late to the obviously the rehearsal, like the day
I can
before, he
imagine
turned up
Taker
late,
fucking crucified him.
and they had just finished like wrapped up, and he got there, and no, Taker didn't. He literally he took him under his wing and still managed to help elevate and push
Yeah,
Randy. And that Randy said
there you go.
at that point when he knew that he'd done that to the Taker,
Yeah,
he said that was the turning point in my career. That was when I knew
I was a dick.
I can't do this no more. I've got to start acting the part. I've got to start being the face
And fair play
that
to
I
him
need
for
to
owning
be.
up to it. Because there's a lot of stories when he was younger that he was a dick and that he was a bit, a bit conniving.
It was the
I mean,
evolution thing as well, weren't it? He was him and Mark Gin. Is it Jindrak? Jindrak? I can't say his name right,
I can't remember now.
but because obviously Batista weren't scheduled to be a part of Evolution at first,
No, he wasn't. That's right.
and the only reason he come in because of Randy and Jindrak literally being dickheads, and then you know,
Yeah,
sure, Triple H wanted Randy but didn't want Jindrak, and they got him out.
right.
And then
Yeah.
obviously,
Well, I mean, and apparently Ken Anderson, Mr. Anderson, apparently, Randy got him out as well. He was like, I want him gone. I mean, that's the speculation.
it's yeah, but yeah, as we sidetrack, but coming back
Yeah,
to it,
as
yeah, for me,
yeah,
yeah,
coming back to SmackDown.
I want Randy versus Tammer in a one-on-one. KO and
Yeah,
Randy's
yeah, I
side,
want to see that.
Bloodline on
I want to
Tammer's
see that.
side,
I think so.
Jacob Fatu
Yeah, I think so.
debuts.
I
Who
still
says
don't know
no?
where I sit with that. I want him to come. I want him to come out. But when? When? Because
When's the
nobody
moment?
knew. I mean, I didn't see any publicity about Tomatunga or Tangaloa,
Tua,
as
Tanga,
Tongaloa, as
Tua.
he's been called now. He's been called
Yeah,
Tongaloa now, isn't he? Is what WWE changed
rolls
him
off the
to.
tongue better.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I didn't see personally. I didn't see any publicity about that, but everybody was spreading it around the internet. Jacob Fatu signs to WWE, and it was the biggest thing going. Oh, it's another Fatu. This is the cousin of so and so, and the 97 cousins, as Bubba Ray says. Um, so that's who we were expecting. But then Tamatonga came out, Tonga Loa's now, and it's just like, okay, who the fuck is next?
Exactly. It's yeah.
But
It's fun. It's a
sidelined
lucky
into
dip.
another match, but still ties in with the bloodline for two reasons: is Naomi and Nia Jax,
Yep.
because Nia Jax obviously is cousins, and Trinity, aka Naomi, is married to Jimmy Uso.
Yeah. It's a
And I saw a picture that Naomi crossed Nia Jax off the Samoan family tree.
interesting.
So that's going to be interesting because obviously they just had their match, and I don't know if that happened before or after. I'm guessing after. I'm
Mm,
guessing it was out of saltiness because Nia picked up the win. I mean,
yeah.
I thought it was a good match. I don't, you know how I feel about Nia. I'm not a huge fan. Um,
She's
she does
being
seem to
pushed
be
though.
doing.
In
She's
my
been pushed,
work.
and she is doing better work since she's come back.
Mm,
Granted, both
yeah. I've
on the
been
mic
reading that
and
up.
in ring. Yeah, yeah. She's been definitely doing a lot better work, so I can kind of see it now. I'm still not a fan, um, but you can see why they're pushing in that direction. And I thought they put on a solid match. Naomi always puts on a solid match. But yeah, so that's interesting to see that she got crossed out.
Yeah.
And I
It's
wasn't expecting Nia to go through. I don't know why. I thought they would have pushed Nia a bit more towards Bailey directly rather than through the tournament if pushing her at all. So I
mm,
would have thought that Nia would have been pushed more towards Bailey as her next opponent, and then whoever won the tournament, the Queen of the Ring, would then decide what's going to happen, and then go for Bailey from there. And that was going to be like maybe Trinity getting, but then again, Trinity Naomi, um, she's just had her match and came up short at Backlash.
yeah.
So
She
again, it's
yeah. It's well. Obviously, the next round is a clash of the Titans. You've got Jade versus Nia. That's the
yeah,
next round, and Jade obviously come up against her
Piper
match
Niven,
in Piper Niven, where it was
yeah.
obviously power versus power, and
Hmm.
Jade. don't get me wrong, put on another great show and looked impressive, but Naya's like another level
She's a lot bigger
compared
than
to
Piper.
Piper.
Yeah, yeah. But Piper, I mean, you got to give Piper her props as well. She performs in the ring. I think she's underrated. Um, I think she's actually really good
I
as a
mean, I'm not
single
sure on
competitor.
Chelsea Green. I don't quite understand her.
I don't like the tag team of Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I think again, Chelsea was teamed with, was it Sonia? I can't remember. Was it? I don't even think it was Sonia Deville. Was it? She was tagged with somebody. They got injured, and then they were like, "Okay, we're going to plug Chelsea Green with Piper Niven." Piper Niven came in and said, "I'm your new tag team partner. I'm the new tag team champion with you," and it's gone on since then.
Yeah, it's
It
a
makes no
weird
sense
one.
to me. Yeah, it's a weird one. I think Piper Niven would be great to be pushed. Not, it doesn't have to be pushed massively up to the main event, but
No, no, but
the mid
just
card, I think she would do really well.
get a little
Give her a
push to
few,
the
just
next
give her a
step.
couple of wins. Yeah, give her a couple of wins here and there over a couple of notable names.
Mm.
She deserves that, and she can bring it in the ring as well. You know, as we've
Because
seen it multiple times, and she did well against Jade.
oh yeah, like she made it last longer anyway. That compared to what
Yeah,
people probably thought, where Jade would just
yeah.
come in and
I think a
demolish
lot of
her.
people just think, yeah, the pump kick, power move into the jaded 1, 2, 3, you're done.
But no, yeah, she got pushed a bit more than what she probably thought she was going to get.
Yeah,
And obviously, the next step coming up against Naya, that's going to be a massive,
it's going to be her
massive
biggest test.
ask.
Yeah,
And
absolutely, it's going to be a test.
I don't know who wins that because like if you look at it the way it goes, you're probably looking at Jade versus Bianca like in the
Yeah,
SmackDown final. But at
tag
the
team
same
champion
time,
versus tag team champion.
if they're looking at pushing Naya, she then goes on to face Bianca because I don't see Bianca losing and not facing either of those because she's number one draft pick
No,
overall. Like I say, if you're the
well,
number one
exactly.
draft pick,
Yeah,
you're going to get pushed in at every angle to that top spot.
absolutely. I would say, I think I agree with you. To be fair, I think it's too soon to push Jade for that title because there is. Let's face it, there's no mid card championship for the ladies. So the only choice for their title run is, you know, you go after Bailey. And I think that's too soon for Jade. Although she's doing great work and she's improving in the ring, her promos are still diabolical and boring as shit. Um, but she is doing a lot better work in the ring. But I think it would just be too soon. She's come in, she's won a championship already at Backlash. I think it makes more sense that she just comes up short against Nia, and then Nia and Bianca end up colliding in the SmackDown final, and then whoever from Raw ends up SmackDown, you know, going against.
Because
But
there's an
again, I think
angle
it makes
there.
more sense for Nia to win as well. As much as I
Mm.
don't want her to, it makes more sense for Nia to win and go, okay, well, I'm coming after Bailey.
Yeah, that, like you say, there's an angle there that if Nia wins, like beats Jade, and obviously Bianca
Yeah,
progresses, Jade's going to be pissed off. So obviously supports Bianca. 2-on-1, obviously against Nia. There's a push there to then, yeah, there's like, Bianca does just Jade get Bianca disqualified? And then obviously that starts a feud because I can see a feud between them two, Bianca and Jade.
I can see them imploding, and it'd be a good storyline because they're both powerhouses of a similar size. You know, and it could work out well. I mean, powerhouse against powerhouse doesn't always work out well.
No, it's not
Um,
always the greatest.
I mean, well, look at Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, the first ever match. You know, everybody was anticipating this huge match, and it was such a flop.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it could go either way. And then you got to take into consideration if you look at Bianca's match against Candice LeRae, that Indy Hartwell got involved, and then Bianca was nursing that knee. Are they going to play that into factor? I mean, I hope they don't play. The amount of people on that injury list right now is ridiculous.
Also, the amount of people that seem to be hurting their knees during matches at the moment.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Is there like a little weird fetish going on or something that people want to see knee injuries and stuff? Because
No
that's all I
idea.
see. Pretty much like
No idea.
one in every other match, someone's holding their knee that they've just hurt.
Yeah,
I'm just
I know
like,
what you mean. It's crazy, isn't it?
what is it? Is it like a
Yeah,
fad?
I think the final for SmackDown comes down to Bianca and Nia, and then I
It's
think
a good
Nia
pick,
will
yeah.
advance, and then Nia will be in the final act Queen of the Ring with whoever advances from Raw.
Yeah, because yeah, on the Raw side, it's again, it's pretty
You've
open
got
ended, isn't
Valkyria
it?
or whatever. I can't remember. I can't pronounce her name. Valkyria, the girl that's just been
Valkyria,
drafted over. That's it. She's just been
Io,
drafted over from NXT. Io Sky again. Io, she's just had her championship run
but
against.
she still looks like she's got it in her to
She's still got
challenge
it in
again.
her. She's still got it in her, definitely. But her run against as a champion after taking the title from Bianca Belair with the Money in the Bank, it was lackluster. It was rubbish. It was a poor run that didn't need to happen, in my opinion. So I think it's too soon for her. Valkyria, again, she's only just come in. She's starting up this friendship, if you like, with Becky.
The Irish,
Um, yeah,
keep
the
the
yeah the
Irish
lucky
together.
Irish. Yeah, exactly.
It's not a bad match though, putting them two together.
Not. It's not. I mean, them against I don't know whether you want to put them against the Kabuki Warriors or whether they team up with someone else and go up against Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors is yet to be seen, isn't it? But they've obviously attacked Becky now a couple of times because
Yeah.
obviously the first time Liv was there, she rolled out the ring and said, "No, it's not my problem." And then the second time, obviously, we'll discuss that when we get onto Raw, which happened, only 2 days ago.
So yeah, but yeah, for me, yeah, I like where you're going. Nia to win overall
I
Queen of
think
the
so.
Ring.
I think so. I
Given
think she's my pick for overall Queen of the
I
Ring.
think the SmackDown side is stronger than the Raw side.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, I think the SmackDown final is honestly it's hard to pick. I'd like to see Carmelo Hayes in that final, but I think it's going to be Randy Orton and LA Knight for the
Interesting, interesting.
SmackDown final too. I think it's going to
I'm
be LA Knight against Randy Orton.
I'm going with Randy and Tama. That's my pick.
Yeah,
I want to
I
see
can
the
see it. I
bloodline.
can see it.
They're going to be dominant. I can't see Tama losing unless it's a disqualification. Because
Yeah,
again,
I mean
if
maybe.
they lose, if they lose a singles match like that, especially this new bloodline and the way that
Yeah,
Solo's guiding them, they can't lose a singles match
yeah.
easy. They're going to
I
do
know. I
something
know what you mean. They're
stupid
definitely.
or
Yeah, yeah.
rip
Maybe
someone
you're right.
apart
Actually,
and then
I mean,
get
I'd like to see
disqualified.
LA Knight and Randy. I'd like to see LA Knight and Randy. I mean, so in the next round, if they release the next round for next week, I've not actually seen. Do we know who's going up against who in the men's next week, or is that yet to be announced?
I haven't seen. I know obviously Randy and Tama are on opposite sides.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if Carmelo's going
So
up
is it
against
is it going
Tama.
to be Randy and LA Knight, or is it going to be Randy and Carmelo and LA Knight against Tama Tonga? I mean,
I
either
can't.
way, I mean, the four of them are going to make great matches. So
Yeah,
whichever pairing you get, we're in for a treat. It's just going to be interesting to see who actually goes against who.
yeah. Well, obviously, yeah. It's this Friday, isn't it? So
Yeah,
we
absolutely. We've only
get.
got 2 days to
Is it
wait
this
before
Friday
the
they're gonna, or
yeah,
is it
yeah, I
next
think so.
Friday they'll
Yeah,
do it?
no, I'm
No,
pretty
it
sure
would
it's
be
this
this
Friday.
Friday, wouldn't it? Because in the next Friday you'll have the square off of
Yeah, you'll have the
the
square off between
final,
the
wouldn't you?
final two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm getting
that's
ahead of
exactly
myself.
right.
I'm
You're
in
getting
this
excited,
mode.
JJ. Fine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same
But
time,
on
I'm
that,
like, oh no, I'm gonna miss the PLE live because I've timed all my
yeah,
holidays wrong. So I'm like, oh yeah, I've got another week. No, I fucking haven't.
yeah. I know, like you said about me about missing my stream PLE.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, you knew it was going to be this weekend. It was going to be this weekend, but I had to reschedule.
Yeah.
So credit for that. But before we go into Raw, and speaking of the Bloodline, etc., the other thing that I want to mention is obviously the backstage segment with the newly appointed calling the shot caller, because apparently he's spoken to Roman since WrestleMania, is Solo Sikoa telling Paul Heyman that you're now my wise man, and the sinister look that he gave when he hugged him and said, "It's okay, wise man. I love you. I love you."
The way this is playing out is fantastic because when he said that, and obviously Heyman's face just sort of the shock
Yeah,
of, oh shit, you've actually spoke to him and I've been lying for him.
yeah.
But at the same time, is Solo just saying it just to get in Heyman's head
Exactly. This is it. Is
and
this
make
because he
him
knows that?
slip up
Yeah,
somewhere?
because he knows that he's not spoken to Roman, and there is a chance that Solo could have, and because he hasn't, he doesn't know whether Solo's lying or not, and he's too scared to call him out on it,
Because
so he just
Solo's
goes
the
along
only
with
one
it.
that's going to talk out of the
Yeah,
bloodline. The others just give you this horrible stare that make you think, I'm going to shit my
and
pants.
I kind of think that works though,
Yeah,
because
because Solo was always that
Tamatonga
guy.
is just Tamatonga is just he's a bloodhound. That's what he's there for, and I think Tonga Loa is going to be very much the same.
Yeah, they're like it's you got a what's it a Rottweiler in
Yeah,
Tama, and then
yeah.
you've got what sort of what other vicious
It's like
big
I
dog
don't
you
know.
got?
It's like a fucking pit bull.
Yeah, I don't know. You know
I
what I
mean, the
mean though.
thing
You've got
is
two big
Solo's
dogs
got
there.
yeah, and then if Jacob joins in as well, if Jacob does join the bloodline, holy shit!
Jesus Christ.
And then
Yes,
where does
that's
that leave Jimmy? Because Jimmy's obviously been attacked. We haven't seen Jimmy since the attack.
yeah. There's another
Again,
angle.
doors opening.
Yeah, there's a door open for him to go anywhere
Yeah.
he wants at this given stage.
Well, this is it. And when they did the draft, was he drafted with? He wasn't drafted with the
Yeah.
bloodline, was
No,
he?
he was. He was.
He was. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, on that as well. Obviously, speaking drafts and who come over on the Raw side. Obviously, you've got
Hmm.
Ray had a little interview segment, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he basically come out to say that he ensured Carlito got drafted with the LWO, which is why he is on Raw.
And
Ray
that's why he's
made
going to
that
be seeking
happen.
the help of the. That's why he's now seeking the help of Judgment Day.
Yes, which I don't know if you want to move on to Raw now
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, dude. I think so. I think it's a
because
perfect place to go from there. Yeah.
on that front of obviously Carlito seeking out the Judgment Day, is he looking to overthrow Priest? Because he's called into judgment of Priest's leadership skills.
Already, damn. Okay. I mean, maybe, possibly. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Carly, he is a sneaky little rat.
He is a sneaky little rat who stabbed himself in the back. Before we go on to anything else, I do just want to say, how silly was it of Carlito to do a backstabber on an announce table? Because it's not going to do any more damage to your opponent. It's only doing damage to you.
Yeah, uh,
But yeah, it's going to be interesting because obviously Priest has now shaken the hand of Carlito.
yeah,
You know,
which is
kind
quite
of not.
interesting.
I don't think he's officially welcoming him, but saying, thank you, we got you, kind of thing.
Well, at the start, obviously, he was like, if you want to help the boys, do what you want, but I
Yeah,
don't want you. I don't need you. But do
yeah.
what you want. If they want your help, help them. But at the same time, and that's when all of a sudden he called into question the leadership skills of Priest, which sort of set him.
But I can understand that though, because since Priest has become champion, Priest has changed,
Yeah,
right?
he's becoming more babyface,
Normally, yeah, he is becoming. They are obviously looking to turn him face, and
slowly doing it.
yeah, and I don't know why. I mean, obviously, it transitioned from leadership to Finn slowly into Mummy as she progressed, and now Mummy's out of the picture. It's gone over to Priest. are we going to see another shift, or are the Judgment Day just going to implode in general?
Yeah, they're all
Who
over the place
knows?
at the moment. Like they really are.
Yeah,
They're sort of
exactly.
like
Well, I mean, if you look at
because
the
Priest.
stories,
Go
sorry, go
on.
on.
I was going to say Priest has also had that segment with Dom about calling into him. Are you and Mummy okay? Like what's going on?
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
we've seen the progress of Dom's bandana slowly slipping from his neck into his pocket. Oh, and then it's disappeared, and all of a sudden it's in Liv Morgan's pocket.
I was
Like,
just about to say, and then we see it in Liv's
what?
pocket. Yeah,
Where's that going? And then you've got JD being an absolute twat at times. What is he doing? And then all of a sudden you get him warning Braun Strowman. Like,
that's what I was just about to
why
say. Their whole
is
storyline is so all over the place at the moment.
why
It's
is this
crazy.
4 foot big headed twonk trying to match up to Strowman? Like, are they trying to piss everyone off?
Ivy Nile is bigger than JD.
I, well, as soon as I saw that, I didn't know how to react to it. I was just like, I was shocked. I was like,
Yeah,
is this guy, has he taken some drugs or something?
he must be. I mean, you could see him looking up. He was like,
You have been
"You've been
warned.
warned." And Braun was like, "You hear that? I've been warned. I've been warned."
I'm
Yeah,
just
I don't know. Again, it's another one of those.
like, where are they going?
You don't know where are they going? Are they going to pit Carlito against Priest? I mean, obviously Priest and McIntyre had their segment as well.
Which I
Um,
thought was one of Priest's best work, that
I like
promo.
Priest on the mic. He's getting better. He is getting
But I
better.
think going up
Um,
against Drew was a great way to elevate your
yeah,
mic skills because
I think so.
Drew is just
He's
doing
doing his
great
best work
things.
right now. Yeah, at the moment,
And
Drew's better on the mic than he's ever been.
but he's just so obsessed with everything. Like, what does he actually
Yeah,
want? Who does he want? Like,
exactly.
I mean, he's calling into question saying that Priest's championship at the moment, like his neighbour Dave could do a better job. Like, where's Dave come from? Are we going to see him next week on Raw,
They
accompanying
said,
Drew down to the ring?
"Say what if he's a BS champion? What?" That was the worst part of that segment. I'm sorry, that was cringe.
That was
But
well
other
off
than that,
script.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
well off script. That part. I think
that
it caught
was.
Priest by surprise as well. Like,
I think
what?
so. I think so. But I think the two of them, both big men, both quick, again powerhouses. But I think those two would collaborate quite well in a match.
Yeah.
And Drew's got that. Drew's
I
got
mean,
that
he's got his
history
title
of.
shot now from it.
He's got his title shot
Priest has
now, and
granted it
Priest has
for him.
antagonized him because Priest has obviously said, "Well, this is your own doing because you could have left and had your moment, but instead you made Punk
You
and
wanted to fight with a
everything else
one-armed
more
man.
important." Yeah, and then you lost against a one-armed man,
All you had
which
to
is
do
now
was
twice
take
that
your
he's had
wife's
that brought
hand
up.
and walk
Yeah,
away. But no, you wanted to fight with a
no,
one-armed man.
exactly, and it's twice that's been brought up now because obviously his friend Sheamus said she got beaten up by a one-armed CM Punk as well,
So
so
yeah,
that's
it's
going to be grating on him.
because obviously, yeah, he wanted to pick a fight because he knew CM Punk wasn't in the big building because Punk only
Yeah.
does the big cities, the big states,
Oh
whatever.
man, I can't believe he called that out as well.
I thought that was brilliant.
That was
I
so
thought
funny. It
that
was
was
so funny.
excellent. So yeah, it's
It
like
was so funny.
well, every he just wants to tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry about CM Punk.
He just wants to, I
This
think it's not
obsession.
just CM Punk. He's also obsessed with Jey Uso at the moment as well. You got to
Oh
think
yeah, he
about it
blamed
that
Jey
way
Uso, didn't he,
because
for nicking his
Jey
spot?
Uso yeah,
But
because
he didn't nick
even
his
though he
spot.
got
Drew was
injured and he
injured.
was replaced. Exactly, he couldn't fight.
He's just
So
obsessed with anyone that's done him over recently.
and this is it absolutely. I mean, he'll probably bloody go off script and talk about how Heath Ledger broke up the three-man band when they were back in the day. You just don't know what's going to come out of his mouth, but the promos from him are great. I'm
Oh,
loving
they're
the promos.
fantastic.
I think they're
Every
great. He's
single
doing his
thing
best
about
work.
him.
I can't wait for him to be back in action. I really can't. I love seeing Drew in the ring. I think he's great all round. But yeah, Priest definitely elevated himself with that promo, and
Oh,
I
it's
think they will
best
be good
work.
things. But
Be interesting when they schedule this title match though, because will they
yeah,
either do it this PLE or would they wait till Clash? Because obviously title match in Drew's hometown, but could they let Drew lose it there though? Because I can't see Priest dropping it so
Don't.
soon.
Well, this is my theory. I don't think they will let him drop it so soon, but they've already done the Priest. They've already done McIntyre over in Wales. No, it wasn't his hometown, but it was on his home turf in the sense that it was in the UK. It was at Clash of the first ever Clash of the Castle, and he got done in by Roman Reigns. Um, it's a hard one to call, or
Yeah,
because by the time Clash of the Castle comes, is Punk going to be ready? Is he going to be fit? And if
that's
so, do
it.
they just have one hell of a match between Punk and
I think they
Drew
could put on
and
a great show.
put it as a number one contenders match for Priest title?
Yeah, it's an interesting way.
But then,
It's
but then again, do they make Punk that early on, give him that chance, being that he came to the Royal Rumble? Let's face it, he didn't do a lot of the Rumble. He looked pretty shit, in all honesty.
yeah. I don't
Um,
think I want to. I want to see him out of contention for any title. To be honest with you,
yeah,
I don't think he needs
that's what I mean. I
title
don't
work anymore.
logically it makes does it. I mean, logically it doesn't make any sense. But that's what you know what he'll be like. He'll be in the background. Well, I want another title run. I want at
If
least one
he
more title run.
not now, not so soon. Like you say, he needs to
No,
stay out of the way of the title run. He could do
have a good feud.
wonders of just having a decent feud away
Yeah,
from any gold with Drew, Sheamus, because obviously there might be an angle of Sheamus being Drew's protection and has to come
yeah.
challenges Punk. Like just keep
I
like
mean, it could go any
there's
way,
certain
couldn't it? And
superstars
then
in my eyes that you
yeah.
don't always need a title to show how great you are.
Oh
Like
no, absolutely not.
if you look back at like Stone Cold, he didn't need a title to show how good he
No,
was, and he didn't. He whenever
no.
he had the title, he lost it straight away, pretty
And the
much.
same as
Same with
Kane. You know,
Taker,
Kane only had a few world championships, and he was
Taker,
dominant at
Kane.
the
They
time.
did not
Yeah,
need titles. They didn't.
no, it
They
didn't.
just they could do better work with off of the title runs.
Yeah.
They were more
Absolutely. No, I
interesting.
completely agree. Punk is capable of a lot of good work still,
I think
especially
the
on the
same
mic
goes for
and the
Drew, to be
promos.
honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got to take into consideration, you know, like we were talking about a few moments ago, you've got to talk into consideration the possibilities with King of the Ring. You know, I mean, we've got Gunter, who's advanced, he's going to be a lot of people's favourites. Let's face it. You know,
Yeah.
especially he's just come off that 660-day streak. He's now back on the winning ways. He just beat Kofi to advance,
Although
and then you've got
he's getting help to win these matches.
yeah, but when doesn't he get help? I mean, not in the big matches so much. They walk him out and they let him do it on his own, but he always gets some kind of aid. But it's going to be interesting to see because I was really surprised. As much as I love Jay, and
To see
Jay
him get
right
this
now
far.
is hot property.
Oh, he's the most
I was
over
surprised.
man right now, isn't he?
He is the most safe man, and they're saying that the best entrance ever was his entrance in France at Lyon,
Well, I mean, Triple
and
H said it took him by surprise, didn't it? Like he just did
yeah,
not expect
and he tweeted out as well, didn't
that.
it? He said he tweeted out, and
Who-
what did he say? He said, "You might not
with-
like it or something, but the Fireflies belong to me now."
Yeah, interesting, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So
Is that
then
just
do
a tweet or is that an aim
maybe. Well, this is the
for
thing.
another twist in some saga that's going to
It's how
happen?
you read into it, doesn't it? But I was surprised. No matter how much he is over, he has just lost a title opportunity. I was
Yeah,
surprised that they put him in front of Ilya Dragunov. I think Dragunov would have been great to go forward in the King of the Ring.
I thought Dragunov had
Um,
it. I literally thought he had it when he hit him
yeah,
with the
yeah, with
H
a
bomb.
H bomb. Yeah,
I
but
thought that's it, like done. And
that
then
surprised me, and I think it surprised a lot of people. A lot of people that I've seen on Instagram specifically have said, you know, no, it should have been Ilya. It should have been Ilya. You know, it was too soon. And I saw one comment that stuck out in my mind straight away that Jay has managed to give Ilya his first mediocre match. I was like, oh wow, okay, okay.
interesting.
Well,
I mean, actually, you say that. I
it
could
wasn't the
agree to
best
some
match. Let's
point
face it.
because
It wasn't the greatest match.
it was a very mimicky match in
Yeah,
whatever Dragunov done, Jay done the same, or vice
yeah.
versa. It was yeah, there was no.
Whatever
It was
you can
just
do, I can do better, kind of thing.
yeah, it was again. It was one of those where they're quite similar styles,
Yeah,
and you put them against each other, and that's all they can do is just
yeah.
try and out better
And
the same move.
But then again, you can't have Jay against Gunther because I think for me that's where they're going to go, the final two.
Well, it is,
And
isn't it? That is the final.
yeah, well, that is the final two. Yeah, because obviously I think
It's a
that's what we'll do with it.
rematch, so at least there's an
Which is
angle
why I
there.
think they didn't do it the last round because you could have had Jay against Gunther and Kofi against Dragunov,
Mm.
but it makes sense this way because they're revisiting it. It's going to be okay, who is actually the best. So it's going to be interesting. But who wins that? I mean, Jay's. If you go by logic and you look at ratings and name wise, Jay is the push, right? Jay is, like you
Yeah,
said, Jay is the most over man right now. Everybody loves him. Put him over, but then he's also just had a massive title opportunity and came up short against Priest at Backlash. So is it too soon then to give him the King of the Ring, or at least even push him to the final of the King of the Ring, even if he came up short there? But if he came
that's
up
my only
short there,
angle
then
for it.
what are you gonna? And if you came up short at King of the Ring, what else are you gonna do with him from there on?
Exactly. It's like you say, like the only way I see him going to the final is if he comes up against Tama and it's the whole bloodline
Yeah,
storyline he gets put back into. Because there's no point having Jay versus Randy, say for instance,
no,
like
no,
that's a pointless final. There's
yeah,
no
exactly.
there's nothing to it. It's like why? Because
Well, that blood was squashed.
everyone will want Randy there, and if Randy loses, it's going to be Jay's got another title match, and he's going to lose that obviously.
Yeah, and the beef between Randy and Jay was squashed when Jay helped out with War Games.
Hmm.
Randy was obviously concerned about coming back. Jay had proved himself, and then Jay proved himself by saving Randy at War Games and helping out there. So that beef was squashed. So again, it makes no sense from that perspective,
No,
other than the two best men going head to head. But storyline wise, there's nothing to go from it from there. You've got to, even if they separate back from Raw and SmackDown and go their separate ways after, those 25 minutes to 40 minutes in the match, you want that story. There has to be something fueling the fire throughout it.
and then like you say, where if he loses, where does he go?
Yeah,
Because he's on his own on Raw.
exactly.
Like it's not like he can fall back into the tag team with his brother and they can go
And
dominate the tag team
and
scene.
exactly, they'd have to work their way back up again. And right now, the tag team scene is hotting up again, especially over on Raw. If you look at what's just happened, you've got AOP, New Catch Republic, and obviously the Judgment Day with JD and Finn, and Carlito helping them to get the win to become number one contenders. I
Yeah,
don't
that
like it.
was
I don't like. I like where they're going with the Judgment Day, and it's yet to be seen where they're going with the Judgment Day.
interesting
However,
one.
tag team wise, for me, it made more sense to go with New Catch Republic. And I'm going to be biased because I love New Catch Republic. I think they're a fantastic team. I love what they do in the ring. Um, I think they're just a great pairing. They work so well together, and they offer so much for two smaller guys. Um, and I think they deserve that push.
For
So
me, I
I don't
wanted
know.
AOP. I thought they were just
Well,
going to be that
AOP
big
makes
dominant
sense.
tag team, and
Well, that's what
they
they
were just
should be.
ready to steamroll because
Yeah.
the Creeds weren't doing anything. The Creed
No,
brothers were
no. And again, they're supposed to be two big guys that
they're just
steamroll
show offs,
through.
really, aren't they? They just
Yeah,
will show off some power,
exactly.
but we're not going to do
But
anything other than that.
again, yeah, AOP could have won with the help of, you know, Karrion Cross and Scarlett with the distraction and stuff like that. But again, what's their direction from there? That they win the tag team championships, they dominate for what, a little while. They've got no storyline.
But then
There's no real
it's a
storyline
platform
there.
to build a storyline for them,
It
though.
is, yeah, absolutely
Whereas
it
now
is.
they're
But then
sort of
who
just
do
stuck
you?
in that abyss of a
Yeah,
floating tag
and
team.
but I think it's going to be the same for Judgment Day as well. I mean, what other tag teams come up against them now? If they win, if they beat Awesome Truth,
I think they might, you know. As much as I don't want to see it, I think they actually might do it.
I hope to God that our Truth shows up dressed as JD and kicks the shit out and gives him a bloody. They give him the Awesome Truth finisher with the flatliner mix with the skull crushing finale, and I hope they fucking break that little pin-headed twat and retain the
Yeah, I don't know.
titles.
I
I
see
don't
him
think they
winning.
will. I don't
I
think they
see the
will.
Judgment
I
Day
think
actually taking the
I
titles
think
back.
Judgment Day will win, and it'll be good for JD as a character to hold some gold. Um, and Finn, obviously multiple time champion, is always great in the ring and on the mic anyway.
Mm.
So he helps. You know, that's a big name to put on that title. I just don't see where they go again, tag division wise. I don't see where they go, and this is not just. I know we're talking Raw in specifics, but if you look at Raw and you look at the tag team division, where do they go? You've got DIY, you've got the Creed brothers, you've got AOP, you've got LWO. Let's face it, who's in LWO? Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, the only two notable that would be worth going up for the championships out of the
Yeah,
four that are in there. Um, and then you've got New Catch Republic, but they've all recently lost matches against the same teams. You know, there's 5 or 6 teams at
the only
maybe 7.
I'm going to put it out there, right? But if Jay loses to Gunther,
Yeah,
does he team up with Strowman? Because you had that little angle with Strowman coming down and beating up, obviously, the Judgment Day, and
Judgment
Jay
Day
is
over Jay.
he saved Jay, and
Maybe.
then you've had JD and the Judgment Day warning Strowman to stay back
Yeah.
off.
So
Is
maybe
this the
they attack
new
Strowman
Ricochet and
and Jay
Strowman?
helps them.
But Jay's probably.
Possibly.
I like Ricochet. He's got a lot about him, but he's that Jay would probably be a better fit as a partner for Strowman than Ricochet was.
I see it. I see where you're coming from, totally.
Is that another
But
possible?
I don't want to see that for Strowman. It's too much. It's too, for want of a better word, and not to be cliche. It's too gimmicky.
I just don't. It's either that or he does become a member of the Wyatt Six. But if we've seen him already on telly, then I don't think he's going to be part of that Wyatt Six.
I mean, maybe not, but then
Or we
I
just see a
don't think
brand new
Alexa Bliss
character of
is.
his.
I mean, potentially. I mean, there was speculation that Alexa Bliss would come back and become part of the Wyatt family again. I don't know if that's going to happen. Liv is so much on the wire that she's like Alexa Bliss. Could it be Liv? You know, I mean, they both play crazy pretty well, and
Yeah,
everybody loves a hot crazy chick.
yeah.
Um, you know, it could go so many ways. I'm really intrigued to see how they are going to bring in, you know, Uncle Howdy and whoever comes along with him, whoever it might be. I really just want it to happen. They keep
There's so
sending out
much
these QR
speculation,
codes.
isn't there,
Yeah, exactly.
of
And we all
who
know.
it could be.
I mean, we all know who Uncle Howdy should be.
Yeah,
And I
I
hope
think
they
that's a
do that
given.
because, yeah, I think so. It's got to be Bo Dallas, right? I don't think you can have it as anybody else now.
No, no, no,
I
no.
think everybody kind of knew it was Bo Dallas, and if they tie Liv in with that, there'll be good chemistry there because they're real life partners. You know, they're real life boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Um, with Bo Dallas and Liv, so that would work really well. And then it's a case of who else do you bring in? Eric Rowan obviously is speculated to come
Well,
back.
he's signed, hasn't he?
Well,
So
he's signed and we've not seen him. So again, he's speculated to come
who
back with the
you got?
Wyatt family.
Dexter Loomis was the other one that I've seen
Dexter
on
Loomis would be a
numerous
good one.
posts.
Dexter
Numerous
Loomis would be a
posts.
great one for it.
Him, Carrion Cross.
Again, Karrion Cross could be good, and they could take him out of that faction with Paul Ellery and AOP. It
He
makes no
doesn't
sense for
fit
him
in
to
that.
be
He
there.
doesn't fit there
It doesn't
for
fit
me.
in there at all. He fits in there to be a leader somewhere, but he hasn't been established enough in the WWE to be a big time faction leader. Not like, you
No,
know, not like Finn or even Priest has been there long enough now. The fact that they've shifted Judgment Day to him, everybody knows that Carrion just doesn't. They haven't given him that push to have him that established, and I want to see more from Carrion. Actually, I don't think I've seen enough from him. So I want to see more from him. He's a big powerhouse. He's got good ring ability.
yeah,
So for him,
he's got that crazy. feel
Yeah,
to him as well when he's got that.
and
Like his
Scarlett with
character
him.
look is a bit
Yeah, exactly.
mental.
Yeah,
Like it's,
exactly. He's got that unhinged look.
yeah, which
And
yeah
when he came out
we
attacking people, when he first came back and he came out attacking people, going tick tock and doing the countdown, as much as I didn't overly rate the promos, the census, the consensus behind it, and his deliverance physically against, especially when he was doing it to McIntyre, and he was hunting
mm,
down McIntyre and he was just annihilating him. That pushed Carrion in my mind, because if you can take out someone as strong as Drew, you can do pretty much anything, can't you?
yeah, it's yeah, you've set your platform, haven't you? You've
Yeah,
and then yeah, he sort of just yeah, just like say he disappeared, fell into this
the abyss.
faction and sort of just yeah, just he's just yeah, I don't know, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have seen them go, okay, Karrion Cross is going into King of the Ring. Oh, fucking hell, fantastic. He's got a singles fight for the first time in ever.
Yeah, and yeah,
Because
no.
unless, because right now he comes out with his slick back hair, sunglasses, tatted up, looking like an absolute beefcake, wearing black jeans just to escort the AOP out to the ramp, and then they walk off again. And, Paul Ellery will stand out the side, or Carrion might stand out the side. But I
Yeah,
think Scarlett's had more involvement recently, which is such a fucking shame.
it's a weird one. There's got to be yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't even know what to call with it. It's
No,
like
I know.
it's not like he's doing something little here and there and
Yeah,
starting a rivalry of some sort or showing us
exactly that.
what direction he's going in. It's just sort of
Yeah,
he's a part-time manager.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know if they're doing it because he's injured, or if they're doing it just because they've got no direction for him. Because obviously they did the whole Street Profits thing with him and Bobby,
Yeah,
and that's now come to an end. So, and obviously you got AOP work as a tag team. That's fine. But where does Carrion go? He's the only one in that group. Scarlett obviously is more manager. She's not a wrestler,
yeah, which is
but
fine.
which is fine, because you don't need a huge amount of direction for the manager, because the
No,
manager will elevate whoever they're working with. But where does Carrion go?
yeah, exactly.
What's
What
his place in the
he's in the
wheel?
abyss, and I
Yeah,
think he's lost. I think he's personally lost at this point,
yeah,
even
I think
from
so, and it's a
creative,
shame. Yeah,
which it shows.
I feel that. I feel that totally. Um,
So it's
I
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, moving to you've got obviously you had the segments with everything back to the female side of it, but Liv
Yeah,
and Becky had a few
you read my mind.
coming togethers, and obviously what's her name? Is it
Valkyria.
Valkyria? That's it. I
I
keep
could
calling her
never pronounce
Valkyrie.
her first name, Valkyria. So yeah, so obviously she came out to save Becky.
Yeah, obviously you had the
Becky was
segment before, didn't you, where
yeah,
Liv come in to say, "Oh, welcome, how are
yeah,
you?" Blah blah blah, and then Becky's a bitch, isn't she? Or why is Becky such a
yeah,
bitch? And
yeah, absolutely.
ask yourself, what was
Yeah,
that though? What
I
I
think
didn't.
it's.
Was it a slap or punch? It was just sort of it. It just weirdly happened. Something I don't even. I was sort of like, huh?
I wouldn't even
What?
know what to call it at this point. It's yeah.
Did she
I
get caught in two minds and sort of just like side jabber
yeah.
like? "Bleh."
I'm in the same boat. Like, has she like decided halfway through to stop and recoil a bit?
It was just such a weird
I mean, Liv's gone back to her
thing.
crazy stage,
Oh, she's mad,
which I love. I love it, because the last time she said
psychotic.
she carried out a well, the last time she was like this was against Ronda,
Hmm.
and she played it really well. It reminds me a bit of Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss is totally different in the sense of she's been coerced by all these lights and stuff, whereas Liv is just openly batshit crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
just that crazy
it's going to be
ex.
interesting, isn't it? It's going to be yeah, it's going to be interesting at King and Queen of the Ring, because obviously, like you say, with the segment we had Becky taking on Dakota Kai,
Yeah,
and obviously she picked up that win. Well, she didn't pick. She picked up the win by disqualification, because obviously, what's the name? Kairi Sane came in and attacked Becky, and
Yeah, and then
then
obviously had damage control
Val-
beating
yeah,
on
three
Becky.
on
Then
one.
Liv come in.
Well, Valkyria came down first, didn't she? Valkyria came down to her aid.
Oh yeah,
Becky
true.
got
Yeah,
up, and then Liv came in and rammed Becky
straight through
into
the turnbuckle
straight into the turnbuckle post. Yeah, into the ring post, and then
and then
she's just
jumped
like, "What?
out.
What did I do?" Yeah,
Yeah, it's yeah. I could see her snatching the gold possibly.
I,
She's
I can and I can't, and
just to
I'll go
ruffle
back
some
to
feathers.
what I said to you last week. I think they're going to extend the Live Revenge tour. I think she comes up short, and I think somehow I don't know where along the line, but I think somehow along the line there's going to be a case of maybe Mummy comes back, gets the championship that she never lost, and then Liv directs her attention at Rhea because Rhea's the one that initially put her out.
Yeah,
Or there is the opportunity, like you said, she could take it at King and Queen of the Ring and hold it until Mummy comes back, and that reignites the feud. Because Becky is suspected to take some time off soon as well, so it could well be that she does pull out the win.
drops it in Saudi.
Yeah, she could drop it in Saudi, then take her time off, and then we could see Liv go up against whoever wins Queen of the Ring from the Raw. So, well, it's only going to be whoever wins the Raw side, whoever won the Raw side in the end, isn't it?
If anyone, well, obviously you have
Well, we'll see. Yeah,
you pit Raw versus SmackDown in the final. So
yeah, but I don't. The winner can't pick surely the title from the opposite show, can they?
no, I
Surely they
think
just get a title shot. Yeah,
they get a title shot from their brand,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, absolutely.
and
So
I
it
think
depends who's going to win. I think
SmackDown probably
SmackDown.
win that side for the
Yeah, I think so.
women.
I think so
Men's
because Bailey hasn't got another challenger now, whereas
and men's, I
Becky
think
is still
Gunther.
tied up with Liv at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think yeah, I can see it. I can see it with Gunther actually.
on paper, that's how I'm seeing it. Gunther
It's the most logical decision, I think.
and picks to challenge Priest at Bash.
Bash in Berlin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's when I
I
think he
think that's
picks
a
it.
good call.
And it's a tough one to say. Like, obviously, it's an early shot, but Gunther, you'd say should win that.
Should.
You're in your home country. You're the next big thing coming out of
Yeah.
like up to the top. Priest and the Judgment Day are sort of all over the place. So there's a lot of elements that can go into it,
And I think if you
and
have
they have
Priest drop
the
the title,
yeah.
that causes huge frustration, which is then going to help implode Judgment Day because he's going to take out his anger on them trying to
It could
console
be more
him,
of a case of as well. He loses it without any help from the Judgment
and
Day,
him
and then
questions,
obviously
"Why
he's
didn't you
like,
help me?"
"Why didn't you help me?" And then they'll be like, "Well, you
Yeah,
never wanted our
where the
help.
hell were you?
You was always
Yeah.
it's all me. I'm going to do it myself." And then it's a bit of a big
What if
old kerfuffle.
this is massive speculation, but I'm really excited by this thought. Don't know if you can tell that by my face. What if Gunter is so close to winning, and out of nowhere, Vinci comes?
Oh my god! Could you imagine the uproar?
Vinci he doesn't even attack Gunter. He just comes out and he attacks Ludwig outside the ring enough to distract Gunter.
Oh, that would
Just
be
to
quite
get
funny.
revenge. Just to
Yeah, because
snitch it up
then
and go, I may not be on your brand, but fuck you.
Gunther's then obviously watching, overseeing Ludwig getting beaten the shit out of,
Yeah.
and then then Priest
And
takes advantage. Well, that could be a very interesting twist.
I'm spitballing. How likely that is, I don't know. But as a wrestling fan, that's a story. That's something I'd want to see. I'd want to see Ludwig get his comeuppance from Vinci after what he did, and it cost Gunter at the same time.
That'd be, yeah, I would love that. I love seeing some people get put over,
Yeah,
and the whole story to it just makes a lot of sense
I think so.
if
Yeah,
it
it makes
were to
perfect
happen.
sense. That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
that would be a turn for the
So,
books as well.
so overall, then, who's your pick for Queen of the Ring?
I'm gonna say Bianca. There's
Yeah,
no other. There's no other superstar that makes sense in winning it. If Bianca wasn't a first rounder, I would have gone Jade. But
yeah,
I think Bianca wins this outright for me from the women's side, and like I say, men's side. I think there's only one winner, and that's Gunther.
yeah. I think so too.
How about you?
So Gunter, I agree with. Um, as much as I don't want to see it, I think Nia is going to come out on top. I can understand it if she does. Like I say, I think it's going to go. Jade is going to come up short in the final for SmackDown, and then Nia is going to go against. It's hard to say who she's going to go against in Raw.
Yeah, I don't think there's any clear cut
No, not at this point.
like
Not at this
standout
point.
superstar. Like there's
Yeah,
no. It's not like you say, but when you look at SmackDown side, you've got three good challengers there.
yeah,
Whereas,
exactly.
yes,
Um,
the Raw side is a bit below par.
but I think it makes more sense with the whole live story at the moment with Becky. I know that's going to potentially come to an end at Queen and at the PLE, but
Hmm.
I think it makes more sense to have Nia go for Becky because Becky at this point doesn't have a storyline. Other
No,
than
she's a
being a
bit like
title holder,
Cody,
because
isn't
obviously
she?
exactly she's ended that match with Naomi and Tiffy with a win. So she now needs a partner to veer towards and a storyline to work towards. So I think it makes more sense on the logical side. And I think Becky and Nia have history there as well, so that would make for a good story. And then
Yeah.
obviously I think I think Becky drops the championship because of the timing. I think she's due to take a break. I think she's going to drop the championship to Liv, and I think Cody is obviously gonna pip it against Logan Paul.
Oh, I hope not. Just hope not. Don't want a double champ like that.
No, I mean, like I say, hopefully they'll do it just as a champion versus champion, but I don't think they will. I
After
think they
Cody's
will.
tweet, it's not
No,
champion versus champion.
it's got to
Someone's
no,
taking
it's
all
got
the
to
gold,
be.
apparently.
Are they going to do it title versus title though, or are they doing it for just US Championship?
Well, I thought it was just for Cody's title, and then I was pointed towards a tweet, and
Yeah,
he quoted the tweet of Logan versus Cody, and he put for all of the gold.
yeah,
So that to me
yeah,
is both
yeah. So
titles are on the
so
line.
it is winner takes all, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't know, but yeah. Next thing I want to talk about, Chad Gable has lost his fucking shit. This guy
I hope Otis squashes this man.
has
I hope Otis squashes
fully
this man. I really do.
he has fully lost it. Like what on earth? I mean, the way that the way he's actually messed about with Alpha Academy in the sense of he's put is it Tozawa? I'm saying it right now. Tozawa
Yeah,
up
Tozawa.
against
Yeah, Akira
Bronson Reed.
Tozawa.
He changed the matches because at first it was obviously Tozawa versus Sammy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he was like, actually, no, 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 no. You can go up against Bronson. I was just like, are you literally wanting this
It's
guy
crazy,
to
isn't
be
it? Yeah, it
crushed
is crazy.
completely? And then obviously he had Otis up against Sammy, and then he literally belittled Maxine. And then you had
Yeah,
Uh, Ivy Nile saying like, why are you taking this shit from him? Like, come with me. Like, you don't need them. You're bigger than them. And she was like, but I can't. Coach told me this. Coach told me that. And then obviously Chad would just come in and absolutely knocked Ivy for six with
So this is the thing, isn't it?
He's just fully, he's
What's
just
going to
gone
happen here?
full
He's gone
psychotic,
berserk because he's gone out to this point that the
telling them what they
Intercontinental
can and can't
Championship.
do in
Yeah,
the ring.
it's ever since this Intercontinental Championship, isn't it? It's eluded him because he couldn't do it himself. Came up short against Gunther. Then he told Sammy that he couldn't do it, but helped him do it. And he's pissed off with himself that he's like, well, if I can help this guy do it, I should have been able to do it myself.
Yeah.
So now he's changed, and I like the heel turn for Chad. I think it works well. I like the fact that he's coming down in a suit and he's shouting at him. Why? I mean, yeah, if you slap Otis around the face, you've lost your damn shit. That's a big man to slap.
But
That's a
like,
huge man to slap.
why is Otis
Why is he
accepting
taking
it?
it? I
Like the
think
fact that
you've got to look at it from the friend point. You got to bear in mind he was in heavy machinery with Tucker. Tucker was released. So if you look at it from a story perspective, Chad's been his friend. He's taken him in, he's taken him in under his wing, and he's given him a tag team partner. They've held tag team gold together. I think maybe that is the case. Maybe he's giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's like, okay, he's going for a shit time. He's a friend, I see him like a brother, but there is going to be that turning point where Chad's going to go too far, and Otis is going to go. You're just going to get the caterpillar now.
it, I mean, I don't see Otis turning on him at all. Tozawa, I
You
think
reckon you don't
will.
see him turning at all?
No, I think Otis is
No,
too.
loyal.
I like
Like a,
taking
he's like
orders.
a Yeah, maybe
Treat
that's what
me
he needs.
like I just. I mean, the way that he's allowed Chad to do that to him in the ring. Then
Yeah,
obviously Sammy comes to Otis's aid,
yeah,
threw Chad into the turnbuckle, but then Otis was like, "What the fuck you doing?" Got Chad. Trent obviously pulled him away. Then he slapped him,
exactly
and
that.
then Otis was like, "I thought, at that point, I thought Otis is just going to turn here," but and then he just like, "Actually, no," and then started to walk off as if and took all the blame, like
Yeah, he kind of just waddled off, didn't he? He
literally,
looked around and waddled off.
as if to say, "I don't care. This is my coach. I'll listen to my coach. I'll do anything for my coach."
Yeah,
And maybe this is the turning point of Otis starting to become more of a brute and help Chad
maybe,
because
maybe does he turn him heel? Is it a bit like when you've seen a heel turn someone to be a heel, to turn them on that side? They've been a babyface, but they're conflicted because they see the goods, but they see the benefits of being on the heel side and what could be. So they're sat on the fence, then all of a sudden they turn and go, okay, I'm just going to be this dominating force now. I'm big. I'm going to use my strength, and I'm going to mess you up because the midget over here told me that I have to.
pretty much it is like that. It's whereas Tozawa he could easily just walk away from it all.
I think so. I mean, he hasn't got the same tie
There's not
that
much there for him.
there's not much there for him. I can see the tie with Otis and Maxine, especially Maxine, because
Mm.
obviously Chad has been her coach. Chad has coached her from being this manager with maximum male models to now this in-ring competitor, and he's taught her everything. And Otis, I see the tie there, but Tozawa, I don't really see the tie there. Yes, he's a coach, but Tozawa doesn't need coaching. Tozawa needs a good push. Actually, he's a great in-ring performer. I never know why they took his Snapdragon suplex away from him. He used to have an amazing finisher where it was just so quick, and then for some reason they stopped it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we've got this triple threat at King and Queen of the Ring with Chad and Bronson and Sammy. I see Sammy holding on to it, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. I'm
You don't know, but
week
I
week by
I'm
week.
calling it.
Bronson, I'm starting to really like Bronson now.
I know you are. You said this last week. You said the more you watch him, the more you like him.
Again, like the way that he's just come out to that match against Tozawa and just
Yeah,
absolutely obliterated him, and then just walked off as if like I'm ready, I'm pumped,
yeah.
I'm here for gold. Like he's got one mission, He's not bothered about anything else. He's on a mission, and he knows he knows what he needs to do to execute it.
I think so, but I think again is a very similar situation to Cody in the sense, only in the one sense that it is so close to Mania, and also if you look at the heritage, Sammy gets massive pops in Saudi because because of his background and everything like that as well. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it's too soon. And Sammy's been on a roll recently as well. Um, I
I
think
think
he.
Gable probably holds that title like probably before Bronson ever touches it. But I would love to
I
see
think he should as
Bronson
well.
win it because,
Don't get me wrong. Both of them would make fantastic champions. I totally
but
agree with that. At some point, they should
Gable
be seen with it.
Gable is in full Kurt Angle mode now. Like this week proved
Yeah.
that he is in full Angle mode of being the arsehole wrestling
Hear me
coach.
out. Hear me out. Chad Gable pulls out the Olympic Slam at Saudi. Chad Gable was going to pull out the Olympic Slam out of somewhere.
Yeah. Could you
He's got
imagine
to, hasn't he? Right? He's already got the ankle lock. He's already using the ankle lock.
the
If he pulls out the
suplexes?
ankle slam, yeah, exactly. He's got that American mat
They say
wrestling,
things come in threes. So,
suplex city.
obviously he's not going to do it to Bronson.
Well, I mean, you don't fucking know though.
True, he has got a bit of strength about him.
I mean, you see Angle. Angle was. I mean, Angle wasn't a small guy, but Angle was able to Angle was able to Olympic slam bloody Big Show.
Yeah, that's not an easy feat. Not many people
Not
have
at
managed
all.
to get
No,
Big Show up and
exactly.
over.
No, exactly. So I mean, there is a possibility. Chad is a hell of a strong guy. When he does that thunder roll, when he rolls him into the post and then rolls over into a German suplex, that power is crazy because he's lifting
Yeah,
dead weight. Because from that position for his rolling, most of the time, if somebody's helping you, when you go to do a suplex, the person you're lifting is helping you. Obviously, they're boosting
yeah,
themselves up the way they hold their hands on your thigh to help them. But with that, he's lifting dead weight. So it's
yeah.
huge strength. So I think it's possible. I think he could do it.
That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Just out
I
of
mean, if
nowhere,
Sammy
pulls
doesn't
out the
retain,
Olympic slam in the middle of the
yeah,
ring to
that would be
Bronson
great.
on top of Sammy, pins them both.
Yeah.
One, two,
I was
three.
just about to say, if Sammy doesn't win it, I want to see Gable win it. But I'm calling it now that Sammy retains. That's my
Interesting.
prediction for that particular match. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be carnage between the three of them, and it's going to be very close. But I think Sammy is going to take it and walk away still champion.
I can see it. I can obviously see. I can see it, but again, I'm just a I'm a fan of the titles have sort of got to be passed about not
Yeah.
too often, but
Well, that's what I mean.
enough
I'm the same. I don't think it
to keep
needs.
them
Yeah,
interesting.
and I think at the moment the Intercontinental Championship is still interesting with Sammy, which is why I don't think there's any need to move
Oh
it
yeah,
right now.
he's week in week
You know,
out. He's fighting. He's
and I think
promoing.
if Sammy wins, I think what's going to happen is Sammy is going to take the pinfall over Bronson, and then Chad is going to come back and go, "I want one more shot
Because I
because
never lost,
you
or
didn't
you
actually
never.
beat me.
Yeah,
You can't beat me, and you know you can't, which is why you went for Bronson."
which yeah could be interesting, and then
Which
it
then
could lead
leads
to
to them
another
potentially having a one-on-one, and that's when Chad will
Gable.
then take the championship. I think
What would so then that would be Bash, wouldn't it, for Raw?
Bash at Berlin, yeah,
So yeah, possibly Bash could be the losing spot for Sammy
yeah,
potentially.
yeah, absolutely. I think
Again,
so. I mean, I think that's for me. That would be the logical decision. That's what I would do. I would say, okay, Sammy, you're gonna go up against Bronson. You're gonna win. You're gonna pin Bronson. Chad is then gonna come out the following night, and he's gonna give it. He's gonna mouth off to you and say, "Well, you never beat me. You know you can't beat me."
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a bit of a back and forth until we get to the Bash at Berlin, and then you're going to drop the championship.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh. So there's a lot of good angles for some of these
Yeah,
titles at the
absolutely.
moment.
Yeah, there is. That's exactly right. I mean, again, it's like the same with Bianca. I don't think Bianca should be in that title picture right now against Becky. She just won the tag team championships. She only lost a little while ago. I think it feels like a little while ago to Io Sky, and then Io was obviously lost to Bailey at Mania. So it makes no sense. So the only logical sense from that one is Nia. So Nia for me takes the Queen of the Ring. Um, Gunter, maybe Orton if he gets to. Gunter against Orton would be a great match,
Oh yeah,
for a
what that'd
final
be
match. That'd be a hell of a
great.
match
That'd be a great
for the
one. That
final, yeah.
Orton's always
But
one for a big spectacle like that.
exactly. But I think Gunter will take it, even if it's with Orton. As much as I'd like to see Orton and Cody, I think Gunter takes it, goes for Priest at Bash at Berlin. Liv, I think, takes the championship from Becky, and then
Yep, on with that.
I think Cody. As much as we don't want to see it, either way, we're going to get a double champion. And I think if anyone, it makes more sense to have Cody because he's full time.
Yeah, I'm going with
I
no
agree with you. I
contest. I'm
don't
going
like
with
it.
no contest.
Yeah, no, it's a good call actually. I can see that. Yeah, it makes more sense because then neither of them lose and neither of them win to become a double champion. I think that's actually a really good call.
Yeah, that's what I want personally.
Yeah, I think
Like
that's
I
actually a
said at
really
the
good
start,
shout.
I don't want a double champ.
Yeah,
Not unless
and I
they're
can
both
see it.
full
I can see
time
why. Yeah,
and it makes sense.
I think the only way it makes sense for anyone to be double champ at the moment is like when Priest was Money in the Bank, tag team champion and a singles champion, rather than two singles titles.
Yeah, that
That would be the only way right now, I feel.
yeah, it's there's because neither tag teams on the line at the PLE, or is actually
No, they're not. I don't know. Are they? Have Grayson and Waller up, or
when's Raw? Because I don't know if Raw's is going to be because obviously you've got the number one contenders, but is that next week
yeah?
on
I don't know
Raw?
if that's next week or not. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. Actually,
If it is at
one thing
the
I've not looked at is what's happening
but
next week. I'll be.
that that title I think changes hands as much as I don't want it
I
to,
think so. I think
but
so. You got to look at it this way. Truth is now 52. The Miz is getting a bit older. Miz is already classed as a Grand Slam champion. He's 8-time Intercontinental champion. He's WWE champion, tag team champion, and now tag team champion again, getting another WrestleMania moment with our Truth.
hmm,
Um, I think it makes perfect sense for them to change it now to some, to JD and Finn would be they're a great choice. I'd
yeah,
rather
and
see New
it would
Jack
probably
Republic, but
tie into the whole implosion of the Judgment Day
yeah.
as well,
And again, it makes
which
sense because our Truth has that history with JD, especially because JD didn't like him, and
is our truth still in the Judgment Day? Who
well,
knows?
exactly. And JD shouldn't be there because he said that the loser is out of Judgment Day, and our Truth gave him a cuddle and fell through the table with him.
So yeah, it's
So yeah, so I think it makes sense on that side. There's a lot of avenues to go down, isn't there? And there's a lot of possibilities. And again, when you've got these new people coming in, but the one thing that I'm really excited to see is what's going to happen with Uncle Howdy. Who's that going to be? Because there is loads of speculation there, and there's so many options with, like you said, with Dexter Loomis. Eric Rowan has already re-signed, but we've not seen him yet.
yeah.
Braun Strowman has got
What's their
history there, but
angle
we've
like?
seen him. Well,
What?
that's
How
it.
do
Who
they
do they go
debut?
for?
Is do they somehow get involved in a
Are
bloodline
they
feud?
are they heel? That's what I want to know. Are they gonna be? Are they gonna
Yeah,
be heel, or are they gonna be similar to what Bray Wyatt wanted in the sense that he wasn't really heel, but he was there to take out the bad. It's kind of like Thanos in a sense. If
yeah,
you look at villains, kind of like Thanos in that he's not he's not directly a hero. He just wants to rid the world of evil. He's the eater of world, and I think that's a good way they could spin it and carry it on that way. But it's
because
going
they're
to be interesting
going.
to see.
By the way, it's obviously planned out. I'm guessing they're going to SmackDown because that's where the QR codes keep appearing.
Yeah, that's true.
So Bloodline versus Wyatt Six on the cards.
Maybe. Are they even going to be called the Wyatt Six? Is that confirmed,
No,
or is
that's
this
all I
just
keep seeing as.
that's all you keep seeing? Yeah,
That's
I
what
was just going
everyone
to say
just
because
keeps naming them.
I think that's all you can relate to them as at the moment. That's all
I
you
don't think
think.
there's
I
an
don't think
official
it's.
name until I suppose
Yeah, it's
they.
going to be it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because I mean, the Wyatt family would still make sense. I think it holds up the
Yeah.
legacy for Bray. Um, you know, Bo Dallas is his relation. Uncle Howdy is Uncle Howdy, so technically he's part. And then you've got Eric, who was part of the original Wyatt family. Obviously, you can't have Luke Harper back, which is a damn shame.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, and I want to see it sooner rather than later. I really do.
yeah.
But when?
Definitely. Yeah.
When do they do it? It's all about timing, right?
Of course, but then you can't long it out too much because and then
No.
it
Well, that
loses
was my
everything that
concern.
it was bringing.
That was my concern with Jade when I told you. Now, I obviously know there was personal circumstances with, obviously Jade unfortunately lost her mum, um, so they elongated her coming in. But even before that, they debuted her. They were saying that she'd signed and she'd come out and done an appearance, and then she just disappeared again, and then she came back. And my worry was hold on, you've brought this person in that is so over at AEW.
Mm,
Everyone's so excited to see her in WWE, and by the time you bring her in, actually nobody's going to have cared because it's just been too long,
yeah, agreed. And
and
there,
that's the
but
concern, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It just it loses all its touch of
Yeah,
like excitement. It loses the buzz around it just vanishes, and it's sort of like, oh, here they are. They've got to try
yeah,
and then win you back. Whereas opposed to yeah, if you do it at the time it right, whilst the buzz is high, the
yeah.
pop for it will be absolutely
Get
insane.
it? And if
And
it's got to be different. It's got to be no different to stock trading. You see that rise, you've
yeah,
got to capitalize
you've
on
got
it.
to take
Absolutely.
advantage. Like, yeah, if you
Yeah,
don't, it's soon going to plummet, and then you're just going to
yeah.
be stuck. And people will just be like, oh, okay, whatever,
I just I just
on to the
hope
next.
Now that Triple H is in charge of creative, I hope they do it justice because when Vince was there still, obviously we saw the Fiend go against LA Knight in that Mountain Dew match. What the most pointless match, the most pointless feud as well. I get that it would have pushed LA Knight over a little bit, but I just didn't get it. It just made no sense to me, and
No,
I don't want that to happen to the Wyatt Six because it's got to be linked to Bray and his memory, and they have to indulge that.
yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, but at the same time, like, they can't play on the memory too much. Obviously,
No,
they've got to make their own
no,
legacy
of
towards
course,
it, but
yeah,
you still
absolutely.
got. But at the same time, obviously, you've got to remember Bray. But
Everybody who's everybody is going to remember Bray. Everybody who's been a wrestling fan for the last 10, 15 years is going to
but yeah,
remember
you're
Bray
carrying
Wyatt.
that legacy on. But at the same
Yeah,
time, you've got to make your own story.
exactly. But if you step into that limelight, at least it gives you something, and you can start to branch off. It's no
Yeah,
different to having, you know, like The Rock or Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes or Ted DiBiase Jr. Being a son or a daughter of somebody that is a previous great to shine out your own legacy rather than being, oh, well, that's the son of so and so. No, this is Cody fucking Rhodes,
yeah,
or Cody. He got over with his own name. He wasn't allowed to use the Rhodes name because obviously it was owned by WWE. So he just used the name Cody, and he got over with it away from WWE.
mm,
So it shows that that can be done. You can grind out your own legacy, and so you should.
yeah. So yeah, hopefully we see that on our screens soon.
Oh, I hope so. I so hope. I really
I
do.
hope
I mean, I'm going to be.
by the PLE. I hope by King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it'd be nice to see something a bit more than a QR code. Maybe
We've got two
a vi-
Smackdowns before, haven't you? So
yeah, we've got this week and next week.
got an opportunity of a bigger tease of
I
them
think
actually
this week if
being
they played, yeah,
in
just
the
like a
arena.
video or something, yeah, like Uncle Howdy standing up in the rafters or something. Yeah, take a bit of vintage Sting, have the
Yeah,
lantern there from Bray's lantern, holding it up in front of him.
yeah, they've got to start to push it
Yeah,
into
I
that
think
live
so.
action now, as
Yeah,
opposed to
got
old
to keep it fresh in
videos.
our minds and keep us wanting to figuring it out because, like you said, eventually we just go, well, it's taking too long now.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what we don't want
No,
at all.
absolutely not. That's exactly right. But yeah,
But yeah,
so we've got two more Raws, two more Smackdowns. No, one more Raw, isn't it?
one more Raw. Yeah,
Is it one more Raw?
yeah,
Yeah,
one
of course
more.
it will be. Yeah, yeah, one more Raw.
So yeah, you got
Crazy.
that step up, and then you got two Smackdowns. So yeah, we're on our way to Saudi Arabia.
Doesn't it feel like WrestleMania was yesterday?
Uh,
It,
I'll be honest, it feels like a distant memory to me.
I mean, yeah,
Every,
it does and it doesn't. I mean, I feel like it only happened yesterday, but at the same time, it does seem so far away, and it's weird because Cody's obviously been champion for a few weeks now, but by the time we'd done the first episode of the podcast, he wasn't even champion, was he? Or
he
was or
just
had he
won,
just
didn't he? We just done it
just
after, so
won? So
yeah.
yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, now it's like we've had Backlash in between. We've now got a second
Yeah,
one coming up. It's like, yeah, I've totally forgot that
before you know it,
WrestleMania happened.
we would have done full circle. We'll be at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, we'll be buzzing for Las Vegas.
We'll be we'll be podcasting from the stages. We'll be in
Like,
the front row at WrestleMania.
yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, right, we've got a question
We have
that's
got a
been
viewer question
popped
like this.
popped towards us, and obviously I've got it on my screen, so I'll ask you first.
Okay.
So the question is, who would be your dream heel or face turn, and why?
Oh shit, that is actually a really good question.
I've
Dream
been trying to
heel
think
or
about
face
this
then?
for a while,
Yeah,
and
you've had time. I've not heard
I
this. This is the
still, I
first time
still,
hearing this question.
I'm, I'm stuck. Like, obviously, there's so many.
Dream face or heel turn and why? Shit. Thing is, so many people have done it, and my favorite wrestler of all time did it. Macho Man did it a couple of times. I think this is the most cliche answer, and I think that's why it's my answer because we never saw it. John Cena.
Fucking took the words out of my mouth, didn't you? He was the only one out of obviously thinking about
Who
it,
can you
and
who can you think of that has never had a face or heel turn? It's only John Cena, right? Randy Orton has been both multiple times. AJ Styles been both multiple times. Triple H, The Rock, John Cena. John Cena is the only one.
Batista,
No, John Batista's done both as well. I mean, look when he
has he?
turned on Ray,
Oh yeah, but
and then he
whenever
went
you see
face when
Batista, it was always
he was
he
always just a
always felt
fucking
like a heel.
savage.
Yeah, he always
But
felt like a
then
heel.
he went to babyface when he turned on Evolution.
True. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He just never his actual.
I
It just felt
cannot
like
think
his
of
body
anybody,
language never changed. Cena
even
was
looking
my
back in
pick.
the day. Yeah, even looking back in the day, Hulk Hogan changed, Mr. Perfect,
Everyone's had a
Diamond
change, haven't
Dallas.
they? Though.
Everybody has had a change that I can think of would impact their character and storylines. And the only person that hasn't and managed to stay heel their entire, sorry, one way or the other, their entire career is John Cena.
It's mad. That is mad because if you go back throughout, obviously Cena's characters and everything that he's been like every era that he's come through to stay
I
one
mean,
side is
I think his
mad.
doctor
It's
of
mental.
thugonomics, his doctor of thugonomics was the closest we'll get to John Cena heel.
Yeah, it's but that goes to show you how good of a character Cena was
Yeah,
because he
to
gave
be the
you
face of the
a
company for
heel effect,
that long.
but yet he was still a babyface.
But that's what I want to see from Cody. This is what I'm saying. Cody could give that and still remain a face. And I think he is a great person to be able to do that. We're just not seeing it from him. But yeah, the fact that John Cena, that shows how good he was and why a lot of people consider him the GOAT, because it's not just what he's done in the ring. Yeah, okay, he may have a quite a limited move set, but the one thing that he's got is that work ethic. You know, I mean, fucking hell, he broke his neck and he came back to work a week later, and Triple H was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm ready to go." And he said, "No, you're not." He said, "Yeah, I am." You know, it's crazy. This guy just is non-stop. And wrestling ability wise, is he the GOAT? No, not for me. But if you look at his body of work as a whole, with his in-ring skills, the way that he carried the business for so long, the way that his character development was, he was the whole package. He tied it all into one. But he's the one person that nobody has ever seen truly turn heel. And there was that one point where Kane was trying to turn him heel. He had that feud with Kane when Kane came back, and everybody was speculating, is this it? After all these years, is John Cena finally gonna turn
And
it
then
and hit the shit? And it never happened, but everybody wanted to see it happen.
yeah, because if you look back at like obviously historic matches that he's always gone up against the heel.
Yeah.
Like he's like if you look back at his big matches, like
Well, look at
obviously
when he,
Lesnar was always a heel against
yeah,
him.
John
Orton,
Bradshaw
Edge,
Layfield,
JBL, Batista,
yeah,
Seth. Like
Kane, Undertaker, The Rock.
he's never like he's just not had not that I can remember because him where you've pitted babyface and heel against each other, he's always brought the best out of that feud.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the feud, the one match that sticks out for me the most between these two people is the Hell in a Cell between Randy Orton and John Cena.
Oh,
I
that
believe
come
that's
up
one of the
earlier on
best
my
feuds.
timeline.
Such a
That
fantastic match,
match.
one of the best matches that I've ever
It,
seen, and
it was
it's
more the
one of my all-time
reaction
favorites. Yeah,
when they're both in the ring and Cena's just pointed up and
yeah, and
Orton's
they
just
both
going
go up.
like
Yeah,
Orton's just like shell shocked.
that's it,
Like
exactly.
shit,
Yeah,
this is happening. Like
but and I mean, and they're the best of friends away from the wrestling business. That's the thing.
mm,
They're such good friends, and they use it that, and you would never tell. They kept kayfabe so well, and they hated each other in the ring,
I was
and you genuinely
insane.
got that.
Like
Yeah,
they
and
pushed
but
that
yeah,
rivalry between each other
as
to
much as it's
personal level.
yeah, exactly. And that's what you strive to do in the wrestling business is, is to not only push yourself but elevate. You want the best result from all sides.
Well, yeah,
Because if
because
you're
if
pushing
you're
lackluster,
you're helping elevate your
yeah,
opponent, you're also making yourself look the best that you can be.
exactly, and you're making the business look great as well. So it's in your best interest as a performer to
It's a
elevate everyone around
win-win-win.
you. Yeah, and John Cena John Cena's been called, he's been told that he's kept people down, but he's never had a problem, and he's publicly said it. Never had a problem opening a match.
No,
He's opened his match. His first title reign for Sheamus, he destroyed John Cena in that match. At the PLE, he came out, he destroyed John Cena as the next big thing in a couple of singles matches, and then he beat him for the championship. John Cena's openly, like his famous line to Roman Reigns: "I saw the United States Championship as as for what it was, as a legacy and a chance, as an opportunity. You took it as a demotion."
yeah.
And that goes to show that, he doesn't care what championship he's holding. He will treat it as if it is the top championship. And I know
Well,
it
he
is
did
the
win
most
the
cliche
United
answer.
States Championship, though,
Yeah,
didn't he? He was
exactly.
always
Yeah,
out every week. Open challenge,
exactly.
let's go. Open challenge, let's
Yeah.
go.
It's a shame it
Like,
was an ugly fucking belt.
yeah, it was a bit of a like they let kids design it and we'll just stick every design into
That
one.
horrible spinner belt was just awful. Just absolutely horrible. But yeah, it's the most cliche answer that any wrestling fan can give you
I mean, if
to
anyone else
what
has
is
got a better
honestly a
answer,
fantastic question.
then
Yeah,
please
put it in the comments. If there's anyone
drop
else
us.
that we might have
But
missed.
Cena
There's been
has got
so
to
many
be.
people. I think he's the obvious choice. It's the first one that comes to mind.
I know it. I know it's like past and present, but it's hard to put a present superstar in that bucket at the moment because I don't think
I
many of
mean,
them are
if you'd
there.
want a present superstar to turn heel or face, if we're talking like current day, it is a very hard one, to be fair, because again, most of them have done it at least once. But Gunter maybe to face, I just doesn't think I don't think it would
I
suit,
don't
would
think
it?
that suits him though.
I don't. It just. I think he's gonna be another one. I think his character is so solidified, and I think he would just keep it heel. I don't think he'd work as a face.
Not yet. Anyway, not yet.
No, maybe yeah, maybe not yet. Depending on storyline, depending. But no, I think you're right. I don't think there's anyone currently I can think of that I would want to see. I mean, Carmelo's just turned heel recently against Trick, and he's kind of got that arrogant swagger about him that we discussed earlier.
Priest has Priest been babyface?
I mean,
I mean,
kind of.
we're
He
getting there
he had that
anyway.
run where he tagged up with Bad Bunny, didn't he?
But then was it a full turn though?
Was it? Wow, no, not really. Not really. I mean,
I think we're
I
going to
don't
get
know.
it. I'd be all for it because I think
I tell you
it,
what, I don't actually. Do you know what? I say John Cena is the only person. Do you know who I don't think has ever turned heel? I may be wrong. Please don't quote me. I'd have to look it up. Rey Mysterio. Has he ever turned heel?
hmm. No, because his big feuds, he's always come up against the heel.
I'm Googling it right now. Oh, he has been a
He-
heel in WCW.
Oh, does that
Oh,
count
okay.
though?
Known as the Filthy Animals. I mean, I don't know. Billy Kidman and Conan. I'm not going to count it.
I mean,
I
the question was
don't
is
know enough about
on
that
WWE,
team,
so
but
again,
I
Ray's
mean,
there, but Ray as a
I've
heel, I
never
don't
seen it.
know.
I've never seen him as a heel
I
from
don't
the
think it
time that I've
suits
watched
him.
him. I
He's
don't think that's
he's
what I
like
mean.
he's a cute face, and I would never want him to be a heel.
He's such a fan favorite with the little kids because the mask, and he's a high flyer, and even at the age he's at now, he's still so athletic. And
But
when
he's
you
like one
are
of those.
younger,
Is the short like don't let anyone
yeah,
ever tell you you're too short to
he's the
be
he's the
great.
is Michael Cole refers to him as the biggest what is it? The biggest underdog or something like that, in the sense that he's the biggest little man is what Michael
Hmm.
Cole used to call him. He's the biggest little man because he is that man that is little, but he is the one that is going to be the one that goes. Just because you're big doesn't mean I'm not going to fight you. Doesn't
No,
mean
he
I'm
always
scared of
went
you.
when I
Yeah,
like
exactly.
to like Mark Henry, Undertaker,
Yeah,
Great
Big Show.
Khali, Big Shot.
Oh
Like
God, yeah, the Great Khali. Wow.
He's never been shy of a fight.
No, that's it. Absolutely, he's never backed down from a challenge, and I
Stood his
think
ground
that's why.
all the
Yeah,
time.
all 2 centimeters of it.
Yeah, but yet he's probably one of the most backstabbed guys in the locker room.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The
Absolutely. I
nicest
mean, he's
guy,
been
stabbed numerous times.
nice guys always finish last, as they say, right?
Yep, had everything taken away from him.
Yeah, but yeah, in the
A great
comments, if
question though.
anyone can. It is a great question, yeah. And if
So
anyone
yeah,
can think of another answer, pop it in the comments, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be YouTube or TikTok, pop it in the comments and we'll do our best to get around to them and reply.
yeah, definitely.
And if you've got any questions for us in future episodes, drop them in the
Don't forget,
comments.
drop them wherever. We're on
Yeah,
all socials.
exactly. Drop them on all socials, absolutely. That's another thing we need to, yeah, but definitely. I
But
think
yeah,
that's all we've got time for tonight. I think again
another
another great
great
week,
episode.
a fantastic episode. I'm like I say, I've said it every week. I'm going to continue to say it. I love doing this. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm enjoying wrestling again and having not just you but other people that to talk to about it because I mean, we could go on for hours, JJ. You know it. You know we could. The podcast could be 4 hours long every week.
Yep.
maybe one day, maybe one day we'll do a live.
Live on, yeah.
Maybe one day we can do a live podcast and see how long we go on for. But yeah, thank you so much as always, dude. It's always a massive pleasure. Thank you everybody for tuning in that has
Yep.
tuned into the previous episodes and continues to support us. Like I say, if you've got any questions for us, feel free to drop them in the comments on all socials. If you don't have all the socials, look on Spotify, they will be on there. And look on TikTok as well, Turnbuckle Talk 97. All the socials are listed there. But thank you so much, and we will see you again
Yep.
next week.
Peace out, guys. Enjoy your
Peace
week.
out.
Let's go.
Oh, mate. Sorry, I was looking down at my phone at one point.